If you just inherited a house here in Sarasota County and you honestly have no idea where to start, you're in the right place. Maybe the property is sitting empty, maybe it's just full of a lifetime of belongings, and somewhere in the back of your mind there's probably a word that nobody really explained to you before: probate. Well, I'm John with Suncoast Home Buyers. I'm a local cash buyer right here in Sarasota, and I've walked a lot of families through exactly this situation. So in the next few minutes, I'm gonna give you the plain English version of how this works now in 2026 and the three real options you've got for selling. So let me give you the short answer first. In most cases, yes, you can sell an inherited house in Sarasota. But here's the catch. You usually have to clear the probate process first, because that's what gives you the actual legal authority to actually sign the paper and sell the property. Once you have that authority, you've really got three paths. Either one, you can list with an agent. Two, you can sell to a local cash buyer. Or three, if the estate's small enough, you might qualify for a faster probate shortcut. But let me break down the probate process first, because that's the part that really trips most people up. So what is probate really? Well, probate is just a court process that legally moves the house from the person who passed away to the heirs who inherit the property. We've got courthouses in both Sarasota and in Venice. So here's the key part. You generally cannot sell the house until the court officially names a personal representative. That is the person in charge of the estate, the one who signs the documents, and the one who's going to handle everything, including the letters of administration. Now, one piece of good news: if the home was held in a living trust or your name was already on the deed, you might be able to skip the probate process altogether. And really quick, I'm a cash buyer, not an attorney, so treat this as general information and check with your specific situation with your attorney and your CPA. In Florida, there's really three different types of probate, and which one that you fall into really decides your whole timeline for the process. The first, going to be the most common, is the formal administration. The standard path for most estates plan on anywhere from 6 to 12 months for this process to be completed. This is what you come across when the estate is larger, has some complications. The second is summary administration, and this is the faster track. This one can wrap up in just a few weeks to a couple of months. And there's a brand new 2026 update here that a lot of people, even some agents, don't know about yet. A new law just doubled the size limit for this faster track. If your loved one passed away on or before July 1st of 2026, the estate can qualify when the non-exempt probate assets are under $150,000, previously $75,000 before. Either way, homesteaded property and certain other protected property don't count towards that number. And there is one more door here. If the person passed away more than 2 years ago, the estate can qualify no matter what the value of the estate is. The third type of probate process that you can come across is disposition without administration. This one's pretty rare, and it's really only for small estates that have almost no assets inside of it. So takeaway here is going to be figuring out which bucket that you're in is really the first step, which you want to confirm with a probate attorney, as that's really what decides the timeline that you're looking at for this process. All right, so the big question here that a lot of people want to know: can I actually sell the house while it's still in the probate process? Often the answer is yes. Once the personal representative has the authority for the estate, the house can be listed and sold by that person. Sometimes they need to sign off from the county, depending on the will and the circumstances. But here's something that a lot of heirs do not realize. A clean cash sale actually can move along at the same time as a lot of these probate processes are going on. They run in parallel at the same time. That's a big reason families in your shoes often choose that route. I'll also be straight with you about the things that can slow this process down. Multiple heirs who do not agree on the sale. Mortgages or liens that are still on the property. Unpaid property taxes. Questions about homestead. None of these are deal breakers, but there are a lot of the snags that we see pretty commonly in these situations. So definitely better to know about them up front. All right, let's talk about your three options to actually sell the property and the honest trade-offs for each one of them. Option number one, list the property with a real estate agent. This can get you the top retail price, and for some homes, that's the right move. But if you're the one handling repairs, showings, doing a full clean out of the property, agent commissions, months of holding costs, that's a lot to manage, especially if you live out of state. Option number two, sell it to a local cash buyer. No repairs, no clean out, literally leave anything you don't want behind, no commissions, and you can pick the closing date so that it lines up with your probate timeline. This is usually the best fit when the house needs work, or when the heirs are scattered around the country, or when you just want an easy hands-off experience. Option number three is that probate shortcut that we talked about before. If you do qualify for the summary administration, then your path to a clean sale is a lot shorter. And let me be honest with you, because I think it's important. Listing with an agent makes sense for some families. But for an inherited house that needs work, or one that's full of belongings while the heirs are out of town, a cash sale often nets you pretty close to the same amount, once you take into account those repairs, the fees, the months of carrying costs. So here's how we can help. We're a local Sarasota cash buyer. We've helped plenty of families with this exact situation. We work around your probate timeline. We have probate attorneys that can assist in the process, and we don't work against the process here. You get a no obligation cash offer. We buy the house as is, no cleanouts, no repairs. You choose a closing date. And if you want to see what your inherited house is worth in cash, just head over to suncoasthomebuyers.com or call the number you see below. There's no pressure here, just options and a straight answer. And if you're weighing the whole Sarasota market as a whole, definitely take a look at our Sarasota page on our Suncoast Homebuyers site as well. And I'll leave you with this. Losing someone is hard enough. The house does not have to be the hard part. Give us a call or fill out the form on our website. We're happy to talk and see how we can help.